Audio Jungle.
Good day, friends. Habits of mind are the characteristics of what intelligent people do when they are confronted with problems, the resolutions of which are not immediately apparent. A habit of mind means having a disposition toward behaving intelligently when confronted with problems. When humans experience dichotomies, are confused by dilemmas, or come face to face with uncertainties, our most effective actions require drawing forth certain patterns of intellectual behavior. When we draw upon these intellectual resources, the results that are produced are more powerful, of higher quality, and greater significance than if we fail to employ those intellectual behaviors. And so today, this group of students will justify to you how or why we must develop these 16 mind habits.
One of the habits of mind that we need to have is persisting. So what do you mean by persisting? As what Miriam said, persisting is to keep on doing or saying something. And also it is to continue at the state or at the same state, purpose, or goal. So meaning if you are persistent, you are consistent, you do not stop, and you are and of good focus to complete a certain goal. So if you want to have a good habits of mind, first or one thing that you need to have is persistent or persistent.
Managing impulsivity, wherein you are advised to take your time, means not rushing in, giving yourself time to evaluate a situation or think through options, taking time to make the right decision and not giving into your desires to do the first thing that pops into your mind. Then, think before you act. And it doesn't matter because sometimes our first instinct is right, but if we rush and make a snap decision, we never have the chance to consider the alternative. It is important to check that you have fully understood the situation before you respond. Check your thinking, ask questions, look at things differently. Just think before you act. Then, remain calm, thoughtful, and deliberate. That's why whenever you have the time to take your time, and often even when you need to think quickly, watch an expert deal with an emergency situation. They don't rush in. They evaluate what is happening, think through how they will act, and then put their plan into action. Overall, managing impulsivity can involve managing the temptation to be distracted or be a distraction. Managing your impulses to call out or chat or fidget can help you get the most from your learning.
So the next habits of mind that we need to have is listening and understanding with empathy. So it is really hard to listen and understand other people. Yes, it is really easy to listen or to just keep an ear, but it takes time to understand a certain person completely. So in listening and understanding with empathy, we need to have concentration on what others are saying, on what a certain people is saying. Next is trying to get an idea. So you do not sit there and just listen, but you are trying to get an idea of what they mean and what they are feeling about. Next is you are wearing their shoes. You are imagining yourself in their situation. What if I am with his or her situation? What should I gonna do? Next is you go beyond what you hear and what you see in order to sympathize and understand. So, seeing and hearing what you have heard is not enough. You need to observe, you need to go beyond and deep. Next and last is, it takes an ear and heart willing to accept and listen in order to understand something or someone with empathy.
The next habits of mind that I will be presenting is the thinking flexibly. Thinking flexibly means acting with forethought and deliberation, being considerate to others' point of view and understand others' feelings, able to change perspective. Our brain is amazing. It has the ability to change thought, creates and finds new ideas in order to make things much better. It has also a capacity to repair and become smarter. According to Dan Brown, sometimes a change of perspectives is all it takes to see the light. Consider the input of others. The most underrated values in our generation is simply having consideration to other person. Most of us have lied about where we are and what time we will arriving when there's a meeting. Example, when somebody's like our loved ones and friends. Never make other people waste past your a good time. This will tell them that you do not respect your commitment with them. Just put yourself in other people's shoes.
Striving for accuracy. One of the habits of mind that was mentioned by Costa. It is also one of the important habits we must have so that we can avoid various of problems, scammers, and we can be aware of something that we can't sure of. Every time we have in our words, we check them twice or even more to test if they are accurate or not. Insist in our minds that we have to make things exact and the best that we can. It is good to have this mindset, for we can gain a lot of benefits in life, especially in this generation. However, technology are getting higher and higher. People are getting smarter and smarter, and things are improving. Let us be accurate in everything we do.
So next is thinking about thinking, or also known as metacognition. What is it? It is about thinking about your own thinking, knowing what you know and what you don't know, and self-evaluation. First, you must know which strategies work for you and which don't. It is mostly focused on our self-evaluation. Know your knowing. Being aware of your own thoughts, strategies, feelings and actions, and their effects on others. Friends, when the mind is thinking, it is talking to itself according to Plato. It's always smart to know what strategies don't work for us and which one don't. This could always be our advantage if we know this. Then know what you need to do to improve. Occurring in the neocortex, metacognition, or thinking about thinking, is our ability to plan a strategy for producing what information is needed, to be conscious on our own steps and strategies during the act of problem solving. The major components of metacognition are developing a plan of action, maintaining that plan in mind over a period of time, and then reflection on and evaluating the plan upon its completion. Intelligent people plan for, reflect on, and evaluate the quality of their own thinking skills and strategies. We want our students and children to perform well on complex cognitive tasks. We want them to connect their learning to what they know and what they don't know. This inner awareness and the strategy of thinking about your thinking help us solve complex tasks. And an intelligent one said, I cannot teach anybody anything. I can only make them think, according to Socrates. So, friends, let us always be aware of our own thoughts. Let us always think first our thinking.
This is what I choose. Questioning and posing problems, ask myself, how to do I know? Develop a questioning attitude, consider what information is needed, choose strategies to get that information, consider the obstacles needed to resolve. Question, we can do it by ourselves. We know that no one can solve our problem of others. Instead, we can solve by ourselves. How to deal with it, and being have a problem, we can know how to resolve and making strategies to dealing with it. In our problems, we can get more information. Problems is a part of our life or obstacles that needed to resolve. It is already part of our life, how to deal with it, and also making some good decision to deal with it.
As we are growing, every day we have learned different lessons that are good for us to apply, and these are usually what happens. We, people, are having a lot of experiences that could help us a lot, where they bring us the lessons in life, and sometimes the answers for our unanswerable questions. Applying our past knowledge is a good mindset, where we can be smart, wise, and even better in doing a certain thing. We can also be aware if unexpected appears. Indeed, it is a smart way to be acquainted with the same situation or problem to be encountered. Be wise, be smart in and by applying our past knowledge.
Gathering data through senses is one of the basic skills to have a good study habit. God has given us 5 marvelous senses to use effectively. Use your vision to gather valuable sight. Use your auditory skills to gather pleasant sounds and ideas. Use your gustatory capacity to gather useful taste. Use your olfactory system to sniff worthwhile odors. And lastly, use your tactile faculty to feel and sense useful textures. Have a good study habit. Maximize your senses.
So when we say imagining and innovating, guys, it creates new ideas, concepts, or ways that could solve a problem.
Are you tired? Starting the days with many things that needs to fix is not an easy task, and it ends up to a tiresome moment, right? As you experience in the middle of the day, in just 1 minute, try to randomly stop and observe your feeling, the people, the lights, the sounds of the birds and animals, the beautiful flowers, and the moving objects around you. How does it feel? In connecting to these precious and important things in our lives, we use our senses. and this may result completely makes us new exactly as it is. By relaxation and discovering wonderful things of nature. According to Ryan Baer, creates experiences that leave you in awe, for this will be the highlights of your life. Imagine what the world would be like if it took care and appreciated its beauty, how it was created, exactly, and why it's here and why we're here on this planet. However, until we have the answers, we need to enjoy it and take care of it as much as we can.
According to Eleanor Roosevelt, the only man who never makes mistakes is the man who never does anything. It is okay to take risk, but always bear in mind to be responsible in any risk you take. After all, without risk, there will be no reward. Think before taking risk. In 2 Timothy 1:7, for God have us a spirit, not of fear, but of power and love and self-control. Take the risk responsibly or lose the chance.
Finding humor. We say finding humor, it is a useful skill because it makes people feel good, brings people closer together, and helps people connect their ideas and be creative. Common language for this habit includes merry disposition, laughable, funny, playful, whimsical, fun, irony. Students who have whimsical frame of mind thrive on finding inconsistencies, perceiving irony and satire, and being able to laugh at situations and themselves. That's all for today. Thank you for listening. Once again, God bless.
The problems today are so complex, yet no one person can solve them all. Out of 16 habits of mind, thinking interdependently is a habit that we want to make sure that today's had. We should teach the students or individual about having a working group. It is a way that we can learn how to think each other, how to hear each other, and how we can influence one another. Thinking those skills in the 21st century, one of the critical skills is collaboration, and collaboration means the person is determined who is able to work together socially, collaboratively, and thinking interdependently.
Among the 16 habits of mind, I choose communicating with clarity and precision. We should use communicating with clarity and precision, one of the habits of mind, because we need to have a good understanding and clarification in communicating people. For me, clear speaking is among the most important because it is the key to almost everything we do. When you speak with clarity and precision, means you speak with clear words and precise meaning that allows people listening to catch the main idea along with the little details you might have included. That's all.
Remain open to continuous learning, wherein you are encouraged to try new experiences. For intelligent people are in a continuous learning mode. Their confidence in combination with their inquisitiveness allows them to constantly search for new and better ways. People with these habits of mind are always striving for improvement, always growing, always learning, always modifying and improving themselves. They seize problems, situations, tensions, conflicts, and circumstances as valuable opportunities to learn. And we can't reach these things if we close our minds to having new experiences. Remember, No matter what you do, no matter how stupid, dumb, or damaging you judge it to be, there is a lesson to be learned from it. No matter what happens to you, no matter how unfair, unquotable, or wrong, there's something you can take from the situation and use for your advancement, says Peter McCullen. Just trust them to experience stuff. Then, be humble enough to admit you don't know. Our wish is for creative students and people who are eager to learn. That includes the humility of knowing that we don't know, which is the highest form of thinking. Paradoxically, unless you start off with humility, you will never get anywhere. So as the first step, you have to have the humility to know and admit that you don't know. And not be afraid to find out. Be honest and say, I don't know, but let us find out. Remember that admitting errors clears the score and proves you wiser than before, says Arthur Gutterman. And resist accepting it's good enough all the time. In this time with each one of us learning to cope with new challenges created by COVID-19, it's vital that we remain open to new ideas and new ways of managing our lives. In order to create this environment, I believe we must strive to create opportunities to everyone that lead them to find reason for believing that certain learning has value. If we are unable to answer the question, when will I ever use this? Maybe we need to rethink why we believe it is important. Because it is in the book, or because it is on the state test, isn't a response likely to motivate our youth. Remember, growth begins when we begin to accept our own weakness. So resist accepting it's good all the time, says Jean Vanier. And most of all, enjoy learning new things. Remaining open to continuous learning is something we each need to survive and thrive in this dynamic and challenging time. As parents, students, and teachers, it's up to us to pass on the skill of how to learn, unlearn, and relearn. So why not enjoy and learn everything while we still have opportunities? After all, the human body is a river of intelligence, energy, and information that is constantly renewing itself in every second of its existence. So just enjoy and be open always to learning new things, says Deepak Chopra. Friends, we know that we are all seekers after meaning, writes Jan Barrow in Developing More Curious Minds, year 2003, page 37. We are all curious folks, wondering and speculating, searching for answers to questions we find fascinating, amazing, and perplexing. And these habits of mind or intellectual dispositions do more than help the students, to us, to solve academic problems in school. In fact, they can arm us students to face a wide variety of ethical, moral, and spiritual challenges throughout our lives. They encourage students to become active and inquisitive in the face of challenges, rather than passive and abductive. Folks, nothing can stop the man with the right mental attitude from achieving his goals. Nothing on earth can help the man with the wrong mental attitude, says Thomas Jefferson. We hope that you are convinced in any certainty that we must develop these mental habits. We bid you all to have a good one ahead. Blessings, brethren.